What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Tim Warren Show. We've got another great one lined up for you today. A lot of big information, a lot of stories coming out here we're going to cover. Bitcoin has pulled back a little bit. Crypto prices pulled back, most of them to places we actually talked about for the last couple of days. Will that support hold, and will we continue this uptrend, or are we starting a little bit more of a correction? Either way, though, when you're looking at the news, things keep piling up that something big is coming. And there's a couple of altcoins that I still want to continue to track with you guys that I think have some pretty big moves coming, some institutions playing some big games, some big headlines coming. I see someone in chat already said, why is everything always coming and it's never just here? That'd be too easy if it was here. We're going to tell you there are moments where it's here, and we'll tell you, oh, that just happened. But I don't know about you guys. I would rather know about something about to happen than something that just happened. That's just me. Maybe you're different. Maybe you like catching the runs on the end. I like catching them early. If you guys like catching them early as well, make sure right now, smash the like button, hit subscribe. Do me a favor, guys, right now. We sometimes stifle out on the subscriber growth. You guys are watching every single day. I know, because I'm looking at analytics. Like 40% of you are not subscribed. A lot of you guys watching right now are not subscribed. Don't do that. Don't keep watching and not subscribe. It's absolutely free. It doesn't hurt you. It only helps us. Please hit that subscribe button right now. If you're new, watch till the end. Watch all the way. We're going to have a great show here today, 20 to 30 minutes, keeping it clean and simple. I might answer a couple of questions towards the end, but make sure if you like the show to hit the subscribe button. Let's get into it. I see everybody saying hi, where they're from. Love it. Here's what I want you guys to put in chat. I put a poll already in there. Where will Bitcoin be on January 1st, 2026? The poll right now is saying 49% of you are saying over 100K. The bullish optimism is there. 30% of you are saying 90K to 100K. Go ahead right now in the live chat, type in your price prediction for Bitcoin on January 1st of 2026. I'm interested where you guys think the price will be. Let's go take a look at what the price is doing right now, though, while I'm waiting for you guys to type that in. Bitcoin, again, making some good moves here. Yesterday, we went a little bit higher. We broke above 94K briefly. Yes, we're back down below it. But if you were watching the show just yesterday, technically, if you were even watching the show the day before that, I told you guys, hey, the 4-hour was looking a little overextended. We had that bearish divergence come in. We got the official gray dot and bearish momentum. So, hey, you need to have a pullback, right? We had some shorts in our trading group. People made some money here. Where did I tell you, keep an eye? I'm not promising this is the bottom of this move. So before anyone says, Tim, does that mean I need to rush in and buy right now? I'm not necessarily saying that. What I'm saying is we rejected on one order block. I told you, keep an eye as low as 90,600 because of these order blocks right here. But when you take a look at where we actually went to, let me get rid of the order blocks for a second. Wicked down here, at least on Coinbase, we went to 90,900. We went sub 91K, but now you're starting to see momentum come back in. The 4-hour chart tells us, hey, we're just getting bearish, right? But during bull runs, during bull trends, higher highs and higher lows, 4-hour sell signals, they can fail you. What's interesting to you is what's happening beneath it, what's happening above it. 1-hour chart right now, not a confirmed buy signal yet, but is telling us we're very, very close. Right now, we have a plethora of green reversals. We're seeing lower time frames. That's what this green box is telling us right here. Lower time frames starting to buy it up. We have what looks like we have bullish divergence. A green dot looks like it wants to come, and the money flow. We just need to see that turn positive, and all of a sudden the money flow's there. What about the 15-minute chart? 15-minute chart about to turn bullish itself, about to get a buy signal on the 15-minute chart. So what's going to happen here? Before we ever see a 4-hour buy signal, we'll see a 15-minute buy signal, then we'll see a 1-hour buy signal, and then after I'll tell you this, you're probably not going to see another 4-hour buy signal until we're above 94K again. So what I'd be looking at right now, as support was touched, if you're an aggressive person, you want to buy some Bitcoin now, go for it. I myself am going to wait to add into my long position. Again, a long that I started back at 85K. I would wait to add in probably closer when I see a 1-hour buy signal. Will we probably be back up above 92K, pushing 93? Probably. But I like to be safe rather than sorry. I like what I'm seeing on the charts right now. It'll be interesting, though, because like I showed you before, there was a big order block right in here in this 94 camp region. Let me let this load for a second. There you go. Right up here at 94,500. You go out to the daily chart, where again, right now, we have a daily buy signal in play. The chart is bullish on the daily chart, but there's a little order block coming in right here at 96. I will look to take a little more profit up here closer towards $97,000. Still think, though, that this move is going to make us above 100K. The question is when? Does it happen before January 1st? Does it happen a little bit after January 1st? I don't have a crystal ball on the timeline of these things. And of course, with having a 4-hour sell signal, I knew 2 days ago the next 48 hours would be very interesting, more than likely sideways or pulling back. We're watching that kind of unfold right now. I still think, though, when you look at the grander scheme of things still look kind of nice here for Bitcoin. Take a look at the weekly chart as well. This is something we're going to be tracking right now because we're getting dangerously close to a weekly buy signal right now. It's not here. Don't run away. Don't turn the screen off right now and say, Tim just told me we have a weekly buy signal. That's not what I said. I'm saying we're dangerously close. Why? Green reversals have been popping up. You look at that, we have a little bit of bullish momentum. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed because we had bullish momentum back here on September 8th as well. That was not a weekly buy signal, right? But we're getting some bullish momentum. It looks like money flow overall is slowing down. When I go to other time frames, let's look at the 5-daily chart. Well, it's still kind of bleak right there. Let's go to the 3-daily chart, for example. 3-daily chart, dangerously close to that money flow flipping positive and getting a 3-daily buy signal. In fact, you really want to zoom in nice and tight. Technically, the 3-daily chart's money flow has begun to flow positively. It always flows from a smaller time frame into a larger time frame. So when I see this, it makes me believe, hey, weekly buy signal, probably close. Not saying tomorrow, not saying next week. You're probably not going to see that weekly buy signal flash until we're closer to 100K. But when it flashes, don't ignore it. Look at the last couple of weekly buy signals. April of 2025. Just in case you guys didn't remember what happened back in April 2025, that was a major bottom position. All of a sudden, Bitcoin would go to new all-time highs. Before that, we have September of 2024. In case you guys didn't know what happened back in September 24, that's when we bottomed out during the summer of 24 and started to hit new all-time highs. You go back even further, September of 23. These don't happen 10 times a year, right? You're pretty happy to get 2 of them a year, more than likely 1 a year. And when these launch, at least so far here more recently, they have equaled some pretty big movements for Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs. Unless we're in a full-blown bear market, right? During a bear market, you're going to get a buy signal that doesn't send us new highs. Like, for example, buy signal right here, February 2022. We had a nice rally, just didn't get a full new all-time high. We also had one right back here in July of 2022. Again, nice rally, not new all-time high. Either way, these weekly buy signals, they associate with rallies. And during a bull trend, which I still believe we're in, I think that's going to be a new all-time high coming at some point. Doesn't shake all the chaos. Doesn't mean there's not, doesn't guarantee us the bottom is in. It just means something exciting is coming. Something that historically during bull trends is implying new all-time high should be coming soon for Bitcoin. All right. You guys feel good about Bitcoin? Feel good there? Let's check out a couple other charts that I think are very important and then get into some of the stories that are kind of impacting the markets here today. I'll talk a little bit about how these stories are extremely bullish and why we're a little sideways and down today, and also why, as good as these stories are, I really do like these stories. There is a chance these stories also could be telling us the bottom's not in yet, and I'll explain why. But let's look at some other charts here. First of all, Bitcoin dominance continues to kind of just hover below 60%. A lot of signs still here on the Bitcoin dominance that we are still in a bearish trend on Bitcoin dominance. Does that mean that we're going to fall tomorrow to 56%, 55%? No, it just means we're still trending down on the macro scale. You take a look at gold. Gold is still struggling, right? We get back here, we put in a higher high on lower action, like on a 4-hour chart, but we are not getting back here above the October 20 highs. And in fact, you're still seeing, even like on the daily chart, we're about to print another daily sell signal on gold. So gold, what's it doing? We kind of predicted this. Gold is trading sideways. It got a little overheated. It's trading sideways. And even though Bitcoin hasn't been cooperating, historically, when gold spends these month-long periods trading sideways, Bitcoin ends up rallying. We're seeing that kind of play out right now. We're not expecting some colossal crash in gold. I'm not the anti-Peter Schiff where I tell you sell all your gold and run away from it. No, I think gold is something that's going to continue to do better as the dollar and fiat currency continues to die, but it's not gold's turn right now. I do think we're entering into season. It's Bitcoin and crypto's turn. Let's save some altcoin TA for later in the show. Let's go ahead and get into some of the stories. Before I do that, though, I want to remind you, as always, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're watching right now, that's the beginning of it. Make sure to go in for the next, just today and tomorrow. This sale ends tomorrow, Black Friday sale. If you want to learn how to trade, if you want to trade with, you want to see when I'm buying, when I'm selling, where's my stop loss, where's my take profit. If you want to use this indicator that I've been showing you every single day, this buy and sell signal from the oscillator, the amazing support and resistance levels that tells us the areas to take profit and where to buy. This is for free when you click on the VIP trading group, the WAP account, and for the next little over 24 hours, you can still get up to 50% off when you use code BF50 or 33% off when you use code BF33. Go check it out right now. Last 2 days of the sale, and then we're not having a sale for a very, very long time. By the way, also, if you're looking to trade crypto right now, great place to do it would be on Toobit. That is our recommended exchange. Go into the description, check out our link tree, and you'll see Toobit right there. You can also use BitUnex. You can use Blowfin. You can use a prop firm right here called Breakout. Where's Breakout? Right here, Breakout. We recommend Toobit. That's the one I'm trading on every single day. But make sure to use one of our links down below. Big things coming with our relationship with Toobit. Some big giveaways will be happening in the next month and some change. Let's get into some of the stories and see what's going on in the world of crypto. First of all, go back to my screen here. We got to see some breaking news this morning. This isn't necessarily great news, but it's not bad news, and you need to be aware of it. The labor market conditions. The other day looked like initial jobless claims were really bad, or the added jobs were really bad. Well, initial claims today of jobless claims actually came out lower than expected. Some people would have been afraid. Does this mean that we're going to have no rate cuts in December? Well, no. Turns out we only dropped from a 95% probability on Polymarket to have a 25 basis point cut to 92%, right? We're still going to get cuts here next week unless something major changes. Even you guys who voted over on my X account, 86% of you are saying we're still getting a cut in December. I tend to agree. But you need to know about it. Technically, the jobs aren't doing as bad as you would think. And I'll tell you, that's actually very bullish. I want to be very clear with people. We want rate cuts. We want liquidity, but we don't want unemployment to spike out of control. We do not want an economic recession. So we want unemployment to slightly increase to get more rate cuts, but we don't want it to go berserk, because even with a recession, you can cut rates all you want. If you're in a recession, markets will tank. But if you're not in a recession and you're cutting rates, risk on assets like cryptocurrencies and altcoins go to the upside. So big news right there. It's actually very good, even though some people perceive it as bad news. Some other big news, talking about liquidity. It's coming. It's very much coming. The U.S. Treasury has conducted another $12.5 billion repurchase of its own debt. Money. This was the largest Treasury buyback on record. Is Japan next? Let's not get started about Japan. We've been covering Japan. We're going to take a day off of Japan. It is in my tweet. I get that. I'm reading it, but we're not going to go too much in Japan today. What you need to know is we're spending more money. Money is coming back into the realm. Of course, speaking of Besant, the guy in this picture, he said something very intriguing. Do you trust him? Do you not trust him? But he says that 2026 is going to be a great year for the U.S. economy. Is he playing with us? Is he part of the composite man? Is he kind of saying this to try to get people not to flood out of markets because he thinks something bad is coming? I think 2026 is going to be a very good year. I think this is not a bluff. I think he's actually telling the truth, but I fully understand why people don't necessarily trust him. He comes from Wall Street. He comes from big money. These guys have a history of you're not really certain. They don't always lie. If they were 100% with lying every single time, then you could trade the markets just the absolute opposite of what they say. It's an art form to being a good liar. Sometimes you tell the truth. Sometimes you lie. Let me know in the chat right now. Live chat, comment down below. Do you think Besant is lying? Do you think that he actually is worried, or do you agree with him? We're going to have a very good year. Do you think he's telling the truth here? We're going to have a very good year in 2026. I think a lot of logic flows that he's telling the truth here, but again, the man probably is a good poker player. Sometimes he has a good hand, but even when he doesn't need you to know that. More bullish stuff going on here. And I'm going to go through a couple of stories and then kind of wrap them up and give you my thoughts about them all connected. This is huge news. I still think this was from the other day, but I want to talk more about it. Larry Fink says that long onlys and sovereign funds are buying IBIT. That, of course, is the Bitcoin ETF that BlackRock owns. He says, I know they bought more in the 80s. Well, of course, that's why they dropped the price down, and so some big entities can buy it. I like this, though. Long onlys and sovereign funds, they're not shorting. So they might buy and take profit, but you're always worried about entities that get involved with crypto that long when they're at the bottom and then they short at the top. These are entities that are getting massively into Bitcoin exposure through the ETFs, and they're not going to be selling pressure. They might take profits in the future. In fact, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you, they will take profits in the future, but they're not going to be this flipping form on us that goes from being bullish to then taking profit and then ensuring they make more money by entering shorts on top of it. That's not how these funds work. That's a good story. Reasons from Larry Fink that people should be buying Bitcoin. Let's go with another story. Sticking on the institutional front, sticking on some big things that are just very convenient timeline-wise. And I want to get into this, and we'll have a big conversation here. This is breaking news here today. The CFTC now permits spot crypto trading on its registered exchanges, marking a major regulatory shift. Go off my screen here for a second. Let's talk about this. Last couple of days, we have seen JP Morgan flip from being somewhat bearish to being very bullish, entering their own entities, using IBIT, using BlackRock's ETFs to make their own fund for Bitcoin. You saw Goldman Sachs is going really big into it. What's the one we talked about yesterday? A couple of days ago, Vanguard is going big. They're opening up levels for people to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. A couple others. I'm blanking all the names here. You add in this now, federal agencies or federal institutions and CFTC exchanges now will be able to sell cryptocurrency. The convenience, ladies and gentlemen, the convenience of timing should not be overlooked. Is Eric in chat today? Eric, I love you, and I love seeing you in here. Eric hates. I love all the rest of you as well. I really love Eric. Eric's been around for a long time. He disagrees with me on a lot of things. He argues with me on a lot of things, but I love him. That's one of the reasons he's still our mod. He always cringes when I talk about manipulation. Put a 1 in chat right now. If you think that I overblow manipulation, put a 1 in chat. But if you agree with me, put a 0. It is so stupid obvious that these markets are manipulated. I don't understand how people look at this and say, no, Tim, it's just as simple as more people are selling than buying. To be fair, that is what's happening. When price goes up, more people are buying than selling. When price comes down, more people are selling than buying. However, the timeliness of some of these stories, I don't know how you read this. I don't know how you process this and say, no, this is a normal market. There's no manipulation happening. This is just happening. All of these announcements, ladies and gentlemen, come out as crypto and Bitcoin prices are reaching bigger lows. The biggest pullback Bitcoin has had since the bear market of 2022. Altcoins are hitting levels they haven't seen in years, plural. Some of them not years, but a lot of altcoins. Some altcoins are down below their lows in 2023, right? We're seeing this massive drawdown, and all of a sudden, these institutions are saying, hey, guys, we have plans to start offering cryptocurrency. We're going to start letting people buy cryptocurrency. Now, let me ask you a question. If this was a dying industry and if these cryptos were dead and about to head to a long-term bear market, why would they be opening these businesses? Seems dumb to me. If we're looking at, if these people who know the markets better than anyone else are looking at the future and saying in a couple of months we're about to offer people to buy cryptocurrency, how does that make any sense? Now, some of you might be saying, Tim, what are you talking about? These are things they're going to do soon. Like a lot of these agencies are opening up in January or February or sometime in quarter 1. Guys. Who's buying an ETF right now? What brand new retail investors coming in and buying it right now? That's not how you play the game. The way you play the game, you got to make these announcements. You have to front run it. You make these announcements at the bottom. And then over the next couple of weeks, over the next couple of months, as things are building towards your opening, you have to be bullish. There is nobody that is brand new to investing or brand new to Bitcoin who is going to watch and come in and say, all right, now my favorite exchange, my favorite broker is offering Bitcoin and Ethereum, but it's sitting at the lowest it's been in a year. Let me buy some of that. That's the smart move, but that's not how actual people trade. People jump in on trends. If the trend is bearish, people want to short. If the trend is bullish, people want to long. Well, these institutions, because they don't have crypto already, the only thing you can do up front is go in and buy them. They're not going to bring it on here and just sell. There's not going to be an immediate sell pressure. The only thing you can do is buy them. So what do? You look for a big pullback. You look for a large correction. You announce this big thing that we're going to be offering crypto coming in the next couple of months. And then you let the bull trend get going. You let the price start to emerge, took off the E there. And now all of a sudden, all your suckers can buy into the trend and you make a lot of money. BlackRock just told us the other day that their largest source of income right now is fees from their ETFs. I still think BlackRock is buying Bitcoin themselves. I don't think they're just sitting on the sideline, but they understand they're going to make way more money from people buying and selling. They don't care if you buy or sell. They don't care if Bitcoin price goes up to 126 and then falls down to 80K. They're going to make money because you buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. But when you're this far down and the sentiment's so bad, you're not going to get a lot of action. The sellers have sold off. Now you need people to buy back in. So you put some of these stories out and you get the trend going. And then all of a sudden, boom, the massive institutional adoption that's been coming. They're announcing it happening in Q1. It's right on schedule to have brand new investors jump into a bull trend. It's going to make it very volatile. It's going to be very crazy. I think there's a lot of volatility and ups and downs coming even throughout the bullish year of 2026. But those bullish moves will be higher highs and higher lows. The same way we saw it in 2024 and now twice in 2025. Big swings up, 20 to 30% corrections in Bitcoin. I think that's going to be a new normal through the beginning of this phase. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. But I'm telling you right now, the coincidence of timing is a manipulated move. And yes, manipulation is both price to the downside and price movement to the upside. It's all a game so people can make more money. You guys have fun with that conversation? Let's get out of it. Let's get out of that conversation. Let's go talk about some altcoins here. I told you in the title, I think there's some big altcoin moves coming. I just laid out a great foundation for you as to why the institutions are making some moves here. Let's talk about what altcoins could be the ones to have some of the biggest gains. Starting off on this story right here, go back to my screen. Let's look with the king of altcoins, Ethereum. One of their biggest upgrades ever, Fusaka. Is that how I pronounce it? You guys tell me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Fusaka is live now on the Ethereum mainnet. This is the most important Ethereum upgrade since Denkun. Again, I'm reading it. I don't say these words on an everyday basis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right. I'm not going to go into details about what this is. If you guys want to learn more about it, ultimately, what you need to take away from this story, Ethereum has another upgrade. It's excitement. It's reasons to be excited and buy it. Ethereum, again, is one of our coins. It has ETF now. When it was the first altcoins with ETFs, it has adoption. You have big players like Tom Lee going crazy with reserves on it. And now they just had another massive update on Ethereum. Look out for Ethereum down the road. Let's look at some other altcoins before we go back to the charts and look at what prices are doing. Guys, remember I've told you now for a while, hold on to Ondo. I know the price action looks terrible. I know that people are getting upset. Just yesterday, we had a guy in chat say, Tim, my average buy-in is at 95 cents. When will I be back in profit? I don't know when you'll be back in profit, but I'll tell you this. For a coin's price action that's been so down, Ondo continues to do amazing things fundamentally. Let's read it. Update, Ondo Finance now holds close to $350 million in by the way, that's not a lot, but it's going to be a big deal here in a second. I'll explain why. $350 million in total tokenized stocks, assets under management across Ethereum and BSC, commanding over 60% of the mainstream tokenized stock market. Let's say that again. Ondo houses more than 60% of the mainstream tokenized stock market. Former U.S. Representative Patrick McHenry is still serving as vice chairman of the Ondo Finance Advisory Board as of December 2025. Where will Ondo price go? That was our tweet. Where will it go in 2026? Let me know. Where do you think it's going to go? Let me explain this. When I look at the chart here, I told you I was going to do a lot of the news here and then do the charts. We got to look at this chart. When I look at the Ondo chart, if I can get to it, there we go. This not a great looking chart, right? The chart says run for the hills. And as a technical analyst, I know a lot of technical analysts who are running for the hills when it comes to Ondo. But when you don't look at the chart, when you simply look at stories, if I can get back to it, there we go. Had a lot of links up there. When you look at the stories and the fundamentals, Ondo is screaming that something big is coming. The chart says this project is dying. The news says this company is building something for the future. Now, $350 million is not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but having more than 60% of tokenized assets at the moment, guys, you realize that almost no stocks have moved into full-blown real-world asset plays just yet. They haven't moved into tokenization. They're waiting for regulatory clarity. Ondo is sitting there ready to take on the masses and do the majority of the work for tokenizing assets. And as we've heard in recent days from people like Brian Armstrong and Larry Fink, the future of the stock market, the future of TradFi is tokenization. And I don't know another coin, maybe Chainlink as well, Chainlink and Ondo. I can think of two coins that will benefit more so than Chainlink and Ondo from that. This is a bullish story, an extremely bullish story. Yes, the chart is ugly. But the uglier the chart, the harder a chart falls when the things finally happen, the higher the bounce ends up being. I told you yesterday in an analogy, it's like a house that is just being built. Ondo is building the infrastructure, it's building electricity, but when no one lives in the house, no one's turned the power on. Let's pretend the institutions are the people, the massive money is the people. When the regulatory clarity comes out and the people move into the house and they flip the power on, all of a sudden, fireworks go off. Ondo will explode when this happens. Not right now, not this second, but it's coming. And it's coming sooner rather than later. Other big stories. What time we got here? This might be a 40-minute show, guys. I'm being as concise as possible, but I got a lot of information to get through today. Arrow's got some good news. You guys know we love some Arrow. It's now available to trade on Robinhood crypto, including New York. Why is this good? Because it's just another ability for the TradFi traders to get in on Aerodrome. Most of them don't know what it is, probably. It amazes me every time I talk to friends and family who maybe invest in the world, but they don't really know much about crypto. They know what XRP is. They know what Bitcoin is. They know what Ethereum is. They got no idea what Chainlink is. They got no idea what AVEX is. They got no idea what Aerodrome is. They're going to learn. They're going to learn. But there will be people on there that get access to it and trade on Robinhood. Robinhood is a large exchange. So good news there for Aerodrome. Last one. Some people have been asking, Tim, what's going on with Plume? Is Plume dead? Plume burst onto the radar being listed in a government document about the future of real-world assets and cryptocurrency. Well, Plume is in the news positively today. Plume launched his Nest vaults on Solana, bringing institutional real-world asset yields to users. I asked you guys in chat, are you guys a Plume holder? Let me know. This is very good stuff here for Plume. Let's go take a look at a couple of those charts. Let's start off with Plume. What is Plume doing here? Plume, of course, very ugly chart itself. Not, I'm down. This is one of the few coins I've been holding for so long, even though the market's not been great for altcoins. I'm in profit on most of my holdings because I bought so long ago. Plume's not one of those. Plume is one that I absolutely bought back here around 7 cents, and now it's at 2 cents, right? So I'm not going to talk about this from a place of my wealth from Plume. It's just something I believed in for a long-term hold, and I've been obliterated so far. But that news is very good. It's proof of life, right? Talk about proof of work and proof of stake, proof of life. Plume is still building. Daily buy signals are still in play. What I'm going to be looking for here, I told you on Bitcoin, when will we get weekly buy signals? Never really had one on Plume. It's not old enough to have one, but it does look like it's very, very close. You guys can see here green reversals. The big negative money flow is slowing down, starting to scoop to the upside. Let's see what the 3-daily chart's doing. 3-daily chart looks like buy signals coming in here. Weekly chart buy signals tend to explode in the world of crypto. Love what I see there with Plume. Targets I would watch for if you're looking at just maybe some trading with it. Big order block here on the weekly chart up here at 8 cents. What about the daily chart if you want to maybe have a shorter term move there? I'd be looking, I would actually come in here and look at 5 cents. I think you could be more aggressive and say 2.5 on that order block, but I would look at this one at 5 cents and say, hey, very interesting level to keep an eye on for a trade with Plume. Let's look at a couple other coins here. We talked about Ethereum earlier. Ethereum, I told you yesterday. Let's go see. Did it hit my mark that I told you it could hit? Told you yesterday and the day before, more than likely these 4-hour sell signals wanted to pull back here a little bit. I told you, we didn't hit my mark yet. I told you look back here towards $3,000 where this order block was. We did wick down to $3,069. Didn't get all the way to that order block. Do we think we keep going down to that level? Do we think the bottom's in? We'll have to wait and see. Of course, again, I'm mentioning, if you missed earlier, we discussed Bitcoin and how Bitcoin had a big order block. I told people to watch down here just south of 91K. We have hit those order blocks and bounced off them nicely. Ethereum didn't quite get down to that level, but what we'll look for here, just like on Bitcoin, While those 4-hour sell signals are in place and we could keep dropping lower, start to watch just the 1-hour chart begin to flip bullish. I don't think the buy signals are there just yet, but what it is telling us, we don't have a reversal in just yet, so Ethereum actually probably could keep dropping, and maybe Bitcoin steals a little thunder from it. But you are seeing lower time frames start to buy in, right? That green box up here in the corner, you can't read it right now, but it says lower time frame buy breakout. That probably means to me, I think the 15-minute chart's probably out of buy signal. There you go. Fresh 15-minute buy signal coming in, green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. Won't do a whole lot good. That probably is good enough to get us back up here towards 3150. But if the 1 hour doesn't flash, all of a sudden we're just going to trend on the 15-minute chart a little further down and make our way down towards that $3,000 support level. But in a nutshell, right now, there is a sign that the pullback that we've seen here today, that higher low could be in. So watch out how these charts kind of move and break out the next little bit. Looking at coins like Chainlink. Chainlink did have a nice little pullback here today. Of course, it was one of the only ones that made it up to some significant levels we talked about the other day when we got the daily buy signal. If you triggered the buy signal with us, we said take some profit here about 1470. We, of course, did that. I then told everybody the other day 1365 would be an interesting level. I think going down to these order blocks at 1312 is a little far. I'd keep an eye on it, but we're not even close to that one. Of course, 4-hour sell signal is in play. The only problem is bull trends. You sometimes don't fully trust during bull trends. You don't trust the bear signals. And right now on the 4-hour chart, we are very clearly in a higher high, higher low situation. How's the 1 hour looking right now? Let's take a look over here and see what's going on with it. Let it load for us. Very close. Not an official buy signal. You have the green reversal. It does look like we want to get a green dot soon. The money flow is slowing down. Let's wait on this one. Just like the others, I'm certain there's a 15-minute buy signal, but we need to see that 15 turn into a 1 hour. And then again, I would tell you at this point, a 1 hour buy signal is a good bet to enter into a long. Why? Because if you wait for the 4 hour, more than likely you're waiting for $15 or above. All right. Let's take a little break. Let's take a little break here. I'm gonna, it's 3:33. I'm gonna be here for another 5 minutes. So let's look at some chat and see what you guys want to talk about. I got 600 people watching right now. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure to smash the like button. Another 230 over on X. Smash the like button on both locations. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you guys are loving this content, if you're loving the chart breaks down, if you've been trading this with us, but you want to see a little more, you want to get access to more live trading sessions that we do every day. If you want to see these indicators and get them for free to make the reads for yourself. If you want to see trade setups, not just from myself, but from other pro traders that are crushing it over our trading group, you got to check out that Black Friday sale. You can get up to 50% off right now, but that deal ends tomorrow. Go to the description. Go share my link here again. Go to the description. It's right there. Click on it. You'll see WAP looking a little bit like this. Make sure to punch in the code for what you want. Next, it'll be gone tomorrow night at midnight. Friday night at midnight, it's gone. That sale's gone. We won't have it for a very long time. Let's look at chat. All right. Brasco, bad boy, you're in the chat. I see you in the comments all the time. Crypto just won't go. It's always an excuse. Okay. I feel it. I get people's frustration. I understand it. I've told you guys before, and I'll tell you again, I've been pretty optimistic here today. I'm not ready to commit to the statement the bottom is in. I've seen a lot of people say bottom in, bottom in, bottom in. A lot of people say 80.5K. That was the bottom. It's crazy. The same reason I'm bullish for 2026 is the reason I'm a little hesitant to declare the bottom is in. And the reason why is all the stories I just told you earlier today, the institutions, they're coming and they're ready. But you know what those institutions can also do? They're capitalizing on these big stories right now because they want to take advantage of what little retail investments are still here and the hope of optimism. I think there's a world and a chance in which case we still bounce off of 103K and then make a slight new bottom just below 80K, maybe push towards 74K with a flash crash and then go back to the upside. Of course, the Japanese carry trade still looming overhead. People aren't talking about it as much today and yesterday, but it's still sitting there. There are reasons and excuses for manipulation to continue to play its game and flash one more time down low and then have a tremendous move to the upside. Go to my chart here real quickly. I'll explain on Bitcoin's chart why this isn't crazy. Because some people are going to say, Tim, if that happens, if we lose 80K, that's it. That's it. We're officially in a bear trend. It's not necessarily the case, right? We've had a lot of things flash here when he hit 80K. Fear and greed down to 10. Massive level of support here was touched. The institutional buying has started to pick back up, right? Like Larry Fink said it, we talked about it earlier. He knows of several long only and hedge funds that bought in the 80K range of Bitcoin. But you go back and you look at these things. When was the last time we hit 10 on the Fear and Greed Index? You're actually going back to March of 2025. We didn't bottom out until April, but it happened in early March. You back into 2024, the Japanese carry trade, while it ended up being the bottom, it was the bottom of the move. It wasn't the last bearish portion of that whole pullback, right? When I hit the replay button and you go back to like this, right? So we had the Japanese carry trade, and then we start to rally and people get bullish again. The amount of people in August that were like, here we go, bull market back on, we're going, that then got wrecked and destroyed and were like, that's it. Bull market over. As we started to pull back down, the sentiment here was bull market back on. The sentiment here was we're screwed. That's it. We're done. And of course, as you let the price action just play out, we would bottom out. We start the momentum. We'd start to go back to the upside. Bada bing, bada boom. My overall point here is we had our massive scare. We've got to the 10 on the Fear and Greed Index, but that doesn't guarantee there's not one more swing left from the composite man to take us down low. I'm not promising you we go down lower. I'm saying that would not ruin the composite man playbook to have one more swing back down low, and then we take off to the upside. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the bottom's in and we just go to new all-time highs and we have no problems whatsoever. But in my history of trading these markets, you got to be careful about getting too bullish too fast. I am bullish, but I know that these guys right here, that guy right there, that guy right there, and some pictures of a couple other guys, these are people who are patient, they're vigilant, and they don't care about your feelings. They have the power to manipulate markets, and they will do so, not just to stock into their pockets, but their friends' pockets. It is a reason why I'm a very big proponent of do not underplay and belittle the world of manipulation in crypto. All right. Go off my screen here. Can we get Plume on Coinbase? That'd be nice. I bought Plume on a couple different accounts. I think you can get Plume. I actually haven't bought Plume on Toobit. I bought Plume on Blowfin, and I bought a little bit on Weeks. I have not tried to buy it on Toobit just yet. Toobit is where I'm trading now, but I still have my Blowfin account and others. Ondo has more upside potential from here, in my opinion. I completely agree. Let's go see here. A couple other questions. We're going to go out of here. Going to rapid fire these. Ondo or AVAX for holding in 2026 if you have to choose one of them. If I have to choose one of them, I'm probably going Ondo, but I'm going to hold both of them. And that's the good news here is I don't have to choose one of them. I would choose both. But I think Ondo is so far down, it's the safer play. Both will go up, but I think you'd make more money from Ondo. Let's see. Another question. Opinion, summertime, we get stimulus markets pump just in time for midterms. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I've been continuing to say this. One of my biggest reasons I think that we won't have a bear market throughout all of 2026, the 4-year cycle theory says we'll be bearish all the way until the fall of 2026. If that's true, if the 4-year cycle is true and we're bearish to the fall of 2026, the Republicans will lose the midterms. They're not going to win the midterms under a recession, under a year-long economic bear market. Not going to happen. But if things are booming, if things are cooking, if this guy, go share my screen, if this guy's telling the truth with this statement and 2026 is going to be an amazing year for the economy, that means your markets will be up. That means you have a better opportunity for if you're a Republican to win the midterms. And I'm not making a statement saying I want that to happen. I'm not trying to make a political statement. You can love Trump. You can hate Trump. You can be indifferent about him. Just use your logic cap for a second when analyzing the position he's in. He wants to win the midterms, and he has strings he can pull to boost the bull market and to boost the economy. I think he pulls those strings. I think 2026 is a bullish year. Go off my screen. Last question here. I used to be, oh gosh. Did you really, Smay, you put that there and said, do not, oh, you did say do not read out loud. Why would you put it here if I'm not supposed to read it out loud? Okay, we're going to close out with this. He's not coming on here a lot. Smay, come on screen real quick. Come on stream real quick. Smay's in the background as always. He's pushing buttons. Some of you are worried. You're like, where is Smay? Shrum is not here. Shrum is doing morning news now. If you want to see the news with Shrum, he's every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on his own show. Smay, you tried to trip me up right there, and I need you to publicly apologize to people.
No, I wasn't trying.
Horrible on the internet that could have demonetized the channel.
Tim, I had no intention of doing such a thing.
in this
I
very
apologize sincerely for almost tripping you up and publicly humiliating you.
All right. I accept your apology. Guys, love you so much. Here's the deal. We're going to end the show here. We're a little longer than I thought. We love Smay. I just like to have fun with him. I think we're going to try to go live tomorrow morning. Here's why we're going live tomorrow morning instead of tomorrow afternoon. This is one of the last times you're going to see this background. I've been telling you guys, I am in the process of moving my house right now. We just bought a house here a couple weeks ago. We're getting everything ready. This weekend, we are moving it, but the guy doing the Wi-Fi said he can only do Friday afternoon, so I cannot do a live show tomorrow afternoon. And then Monday, when I'm back, the entire background behind me will be completely different. So I think we're going to be live tomorrow morning. I think we're probably going to try to do 11 a.m. So come back at 11 a.m. where we will be live. We'll cover the charts that day, any news that's happened so far. But say goodbye to this set because this set is going away. If you enjoyed it, though, leave me a comment down below. Smash